So here's the thing. I wasn't gonna do this video originally, but seeing Raw last night and in my opinion how diabolical that was, I had no choice. This isn't gonna be a long video. I'm getting a new camera in a couple of days, so I want to get the most out of this one before it goes tits up, basically. But here we go. Survivor Series 2018. Now, a lot of people probably think it was a good view. Some would think it was bad. For me, I'm not saying stuff that happened on the show was terrible, but really, I would like to explain myself and for people to be able to understand. So, I'll try. Here we go. First things first, it wasn't 6-0 to Raw. And in the grand scheme of things, I suppose, I don't really care about it being 6-0 or whatever. But, it's just the little pet peeves and things that annoy me. It was 6-1. SmackDown won a match. So let's get that out of the way first and foremost. Secondly, God damn it, did it have to be 6-0? Because now you've just destroyed the SmackDown brand in a way. Now, I am waiting to see. Well, I was going to wait to see what happens tonight on SmackDown to be able to get a clearer understanding of, maybe there's a storyline reason for this. And if, bloody itchy nose, if by tomorrow, I log on and I see that SmackDown, there's been a shake-up or something's been announced that will make Survivor Series totally irrelevant, then that's fine. Or it's not fine, but, it's a risk I'm willing to take. It just stinked of Vince McMahon thinking that Raw is the A show, SmackDown is the B show, and yes, I know many people would probably agree, but you got both brands. Can you... Basically, you couldn't imagine Triple H allowing NXT to be squashed 6-0. That's the point I'm getting at here with that. And then it has to be said, and it does have to be said, that some of the matches were very, very good. Very good. Your Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura match, I thought the men's elimination match was somewhat decent. It was nice. The main event was awesome after we got over the boringness of Lesnar doing his usual stuff. But anyway, this is what I want to say. We'll start off, and I'm going to bring, right as I'm on stream, because I'm streaming this live, and it'll come out as a video later, right? So let me just type in Survivor Series 2018. Apologies, you can hear the keyboard, and it comes out clicking out and whatnot and all this nonsense. Right. So Survivor Series 2018. So if we look at the match results, right? So you could quite honestly tell that most of these matches were not given time. Now we'll ignore the pre-show. God damn it, seriously, sanity shouldn't be on the pre-show. Actually, I will say that I didn't even know. I honestly didn't even know they were on the pre-show, which is horrendous, right? Most of these matches were given decent time, but here's the thing, right? I honestly believe, I don't know. The whole thing's just ridiculous to me. So you start off with the women's match, right? Now, obviously, you know that they're going to fucking position Nia Jax as the sole survivor. And that before it even kicked off. I think everybody did. So essentially, you got someone that injured somebody by purpose or by accident, whatever you want to call it, being rewarded with a monster push. Now, in fairness, is this because she was slated to face Ronda Rousey before? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it was, maybe it is. But, God damn it. Having her basically toss Sasha Banks to the wolves, it does nothing for Sasha. It makes her look like a chump. And not to mention Asuka really could have used the win, because what the hell do they do with her now? That and the Evolution Battle Royal was probably the one chance of redemption for her. So that's gone. Seth Rollins versus Nakamura again. Why could Nakamura not have won via Dean Ambrose interference? Would it have really been that bad? Survivor Series in a way, and I know it goes against the whole point that I'm making, but it goes. It's not canonical in a certain sense. Giving Shinsuke a win on a big pay-per-view over an Intercontinental Champion wouldn't have been a big deal. We didn't even see Dean Ambrose. That was ridiculous. But the match itself was good, so, they deserve a lot of credit for that. It went, 21 minutes? It says on here 21 minutes 50. So that was decent. I did actually enjoy that. Right? The Authors of Pain versus the tag team champions of SmackDown, Cesaro and Sheamus. Well, the Authors of Pain. I forgot they were actually Raw Tag Team Champions, just because I actually forgot that Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose were the champions, because bloody hell, WWE booking has been a mess. That match, it didn't really matter who won that. I suppose you couldn't have a real winner and a real loser, but the Bar lost because they were laughing at fucking AOP's manager pissing his pants, Drake Maverick or Rockstar Spud, however you want to know him. I mean, come on, guys. Like, that is ridiculous. How could you even explain that? And spare a thought. Now, I am not Naomi's biggest fan, right? I don't think. But spare a thought for Naomi, actually, briefly going back to the SmackDown women's match, who actually got eliminated so easy. The Cruiserweight Championship match was decent. It was your standard Cruiserweight Championship match. Now, here is where I really want to start to pick apart this shit, right? This absolute fucking shit show. Honestly, because I am like, what the fucking hell went on? Right? So let's look at this, right? Honestly, let's be a little bit more honest about what the fuck went on here. Do we want Samoa Joe, Finn Balor to be a big deal? Right? I suppose technically you do, right? Especially with Samoa Joe. This man has lost so many title opportunities over the last couple of months. And you are like, dude, come now, behave. What is happening? Honest to God, what is happening? It is absolutely mental. This man, and I get that you're trying to build Drew McIntyre up. Please understand me when I say I want Drew McIntyre to be Universal Champion. I was a Drew McIntyre fan before being a Drew McIntyre fan was cool, yeah? I even followed this guy in TNA, I believe he was working out for a while. I don't even watch TNA. So I'll be happy when he wins it. He's obviously the new man. And I don't think a lot of people will complain because he won't get shoved down the throats and stuff like that. It's more organic. But Samoa Joe got eliminated in 35 seconds. And yes, I know you want to display his dominance, but could it have not have been Shane McMahon if it needed to happen like that? Could it not have been Shane McMahon? Horrendous booking. And the fact that the two smallest men in the match after that, Dolph Ziggler and Finn Balor, were the only people to get eliminated from the Raw team. I mean, I get why they didn't want to eliminate Braun Strowman or Drew McIntyre or whatever, but why don't you just have, just have some offense in there? I mean, The Miz was doing really bloody well. Why? Why, oh, why, oh, why could The Miz not have got a decent elimination to his name? I found myself rooting for The Miz, and his work was phenomenal. And I get they built Braun Strowman up to be a bloody monster, but now it's apparently he may be working through a real life injury, if you've not seen the reports today, and he might even miss his TLC match. Surely they knew, allegedly, by the way, he might miss his TLC match, but surely WWE knew that he was missing or potentially had this injury, because they did the injury angle on Raw in the opening act the next day. And why did Shane McMahon have to be the last hope of SmackDown? Goodness gracious me. SmackDown just got annihilated, and that's the saddest thing, right? That is the saddest thing. I am not... I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say to you. I just feel like Samoa Joe needs to be built up. You know, they need... I would love it if from out of nowhere tonight there was a superstar shake-up on bloody SmackDown. Would it make 2K19 out of date? Hell yeah, it probably would. It's already out of date. But by God, they can't continue. Their whole roster just got flattened out. Bish, bash, bosh, done. Clean sweep in football terms, or soccer as the Americans might know it. It's called a thrashing. It can't be done. The Raw Women's Championship match between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte, right? Okay. Here's the real deal with that, in my opinion. Now, I'm not against Charlotte, right? I want to make that perfectly clear. I like Charlotte. Was I booing the woo? Hell yes, I was booing the woo, because to me, she was a direct obstruction to Becky Lynch, right? Hands up. But I don't classify myself as a fickle fan. So just before I, get into this, I want to just say I feel both women worked the match really well. I don't get the hate or the perceived hate for Ronda Rousey. I really fucking don't, because I think she is amazing. You got to remember, she didn't do any of this up until about 18 months ago, maybe even less, depending on when she started training at the Performance Center and whatnot, right? Give the girl a freaking break. And as well, that Shayna Baszler, just for the record, like, fucking, she's good. I don't know if she's been doing it any longer, but she is amazing. Absolutely amazing. These MA women, I think there's two other ladies there. I can't exactly remember their names. Fucking the four horsewomen, fucking women of MMA, Shafir and the other one. I don't know. Look, apologies, right? The point is that Ronda does well. Charlotte does well. I don't know what story they were trying to tell in this match. Is it that Charlotte couldn't get the job done? Because that's what WWE are trying to push. Now, this is where it starts to annoy me. Because if they are now starting to position Charlotte for her WrestleMania match against Ronda, I don't want to see that. Especially as I've already seen it once last night. Was it good? Yes. Was it very good? Yes. Was it amazing? No. And I get that Charlotte potentially turned heel. I understand that. I don't mind it per se, although I did prefer face Charlotte. But this is the thing. This is what really irks me. It has nothing to do with Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Ronda as people or as performers or even kayfabe in it, right? WWE do not know how to book people. There is no such thing as a heel turn anymore. Because when people turn heel in a badass way like Charlotte did, people are going to get cheered because the rest of the product is so bland, so mundane. That babyface never does that. The reason why Becky Lynch has got over, apart from the fact that Becky Lynch is absolutely phenomenal, no pun intended, and is probably the best all-round women's wrestler I've seen since fucking hell, since God knows when. I mean, since China. And I know people might think that, China wasn't, as over as people like Trish and all that, but bloody hell. Like, Becky Lynch is there, right? But this is what annoys me. WWE don't know how to book. How would Charlotte not have got cheered? It was obvious. Please see it. badassery would have got cheered. Ronda Rousey gets cheered when she freaking does badass things like break Stephanie McMahon's arm. And I know because it's Stephanie, blah, 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 blah. But Bayley got cheered when she turned heel, quote unquote, on Sasha Banks and rammed her into the steps because it's badassery. It's badassery. Brock Lesnar still gets cheers, even though he's the most hated Universal Champion of all time, because when he does badassery, no matter who he does badassery. The point is, I just feel like they tried to either make Charlotte a heel, which they failed in. Well, we'll see after tonight's SmackDown, which they failed in. Or they freaking tried to turn Charlotte into a badass, which hopefully people will see through and see that that's just a straight copy and paste of what Becky Lynch did. Now, I'm personally hoping that this leads to a Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey match at the Royal Rumble and then leads to Becky Lynch versus Ronda at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's Championship and the SmackDown Women's Championship. And you know what? Be brave. Be brave, WWE. Shall I tell you why you need to be brave? I want the undisputed Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. And all right, my Becky Lynch fanboying is going way too far here. The undisputed Women's Champion. It's a purple belt now. It's not even a red belt or a green belt. The undisputed Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, giving Ronda Rousey her first loss at WrestleMania. By shenanigans, if that's what you want, whatever. I'm worried for Becky Lynch's spot. That's what comes out of that match. And, you know, now Ronda's going to face Nia. Hopefully fucking Ronda just wins and that's that. And then, you know, Nia for me doesn't have heel heat. She has go away heat. So hopefully as soon as that dies down, it'll be all right. Right. Universal Champion versus WWE Champion. Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan. I understand that they couldn't have Daniel Bryan beat Brock Lesnar. I mean, how could you? You couldn't, right? No. Unless, what better way to have Brock Lesnar lose a match than have AJ Styles come out? And yes, he's angry at Daniel Bryan, but he'll get to him later. Paul Heyman was the one that drove him over the edge. Have AJ cost Daniel Bryan that match. Cost Brock Lesnar, rather, that match. He's just cost Paul Heyman's client a winner's purse. And hell, depending on what Brock Lesnar's doing at WrestleMania, he'll probably still be Universal Champion. But hell, AJ might get drafted to Raw. Why can't we have AJ, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar in a triple threat at WrestleMania for the Universal title? Who knows? I mean, it was a decent match. I was concerned for Daniel Bryan, to be fair. That last idea wasn't serious. It was spitballing, but damn. I like the booking of this match. I have to praise WWE when they're due praise. Credit where credit's due is the phrase I'm looking for. The match changed when Daniel Bryan kicked Lesnar in the balls. And to be fair, if you look at the two, the match is only going to change when Lesnar gets kicked in the balls. That's all anyone can do to beat Lesnar is kick him in the balls. Because Lesnar's a real deal. Unless you're someone like The Undertaker, Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, someone along those lines, you can no longer be presented as a viable threat to Brock Lesnar. Either A, you have history with him, B, you're big as fuck, or C, you're built up to be a truly menacing threat. And those 3 or 4 men I've just mentioned are that. It's sad that we didn't get to see AJ Styles on Survivor Series. That I will definitely say. I'm really sad about that. I felt like AJ deserved to be on the card. Rumors about he's negotiating allegedly, if that's the right word, that he is negotiating a new WWE contract and it has certain things in it, like less live event dates. So AJ was in favor of dropping the championship to spend time with family or whatever. If that's the case, go for it. I just think it's sad that he didn't make it past CM Punk. Not because of the whole CM Punk thing, but I like AJ. I think AJ is champion. It's really good. It's really good. But I'll give Daniel Bryan a chance, as I think we all should. I think it's really weird that Daniel Bryan, he won back the championship as this kind of heel essentially. When we all thought it would be as a face. The booking is batshit crazy. You could tell that by like the reaction on what happened on Raw. Like last night, Raw looked like it was all over the place. Now, whether that's because they've gone to like a hard 11 o'clock closing on Raw instead of like the odd 5-10 minutes they normally go over, I don't know. But I'm gonna watch SmackDown with eager eyes tonight. I suggest you all do the same. Thank you very much for watching this live stream. Sorry about the camera quality. I am absolutely getting a new camera soon and a new microphone, so that'll be quite good. But anyway, like I said, thank you very much for watching. It wasn't as bad of a rant as I thought it would be. But by God, I just hope the main thing is SmackDown needs a reboot, and I hope they don't fuck up Becky Lynch's spot. Thank you for watching. I'm out. Peace.